Hi, this is Representative Erik Paulsen. We're back in Washington this week after spending last week in Minnesota touring a lot of small businesses, especially women-owned small businesses. We thought we'd start right now by sharing a few questions I've been getting from some of you. Well, first we'll kick it off with a Facebook post that I got from Robin, who says, "I'm afraid that as long as businesses can find cheaper labor, they are going to head to overseas markets. Few Americans can afford to work for the prevailing wage in China and India, not to mention other countries. It's not exclusively regulations in the U.S., most of which are good for consumers, that are driving jobs overseas. Investors want return on investment." Well, first of all, I agree that China is a concern. In fact, the Ways and Means Committee had a hearing just this week about the uneven playing field that China as a government puts forward on our American companies, whether it's subsidies, a lack of protecting intellectual property, market distortions, or currency manipulation. In fact, just in the medical device industry alone, there's a new proposal in China that would add price controls unfairly to American exports and American products. And we need every tool in the toolbox to fight off those unfair advantages. And I completely agree with Robin. We also got an email question that came from Molly in Eden Prairie, who wrote, "Dear Congressman Paulsen, as a senior in high school this year, I now realize the importance of being a well-educated American. Unfortunately, education in the United States has taken a backseat to other nations around the world. Furthermore, everyone knows that students are the future of our country." And Molly explains her frustration with the current education system in the ways of limited access to technology and the shuffling of underperforming teachers around the district. And I will tell you, first of all, I visit over 90 schools in the district, and I always appreciate the chance to interact with teachers and students and the parent volunteers who come in. And I do believe that there's no one-size-fits-all for education, and it's certainly not from the federal government. And the federal government only provides a small percentage of funding actually to our school districts. But nonetheless, that is important money that will need to be an allocation for needed resources in Minnesota. And I'm committed to helping make sure we have fewer mandates, with less strings attached, to give the resources to where they ultimately should go for the best education possible to teachers, local superintendents, and parents who really know how to make sure that local control is going to produce the best educational outcomes possible. I know with my girls going to public school and my wife being a teacher, I know that that is a foundation that's important to myself. I want to encourage all of you to continue to send in your questions and thoughts. You can do it on Facebook or Twitter, or visit my website at paulsen.house.gov, and be sure to have a good rest of the week.